A lot of people are saying, man, Jennifer Lawrence is super hot in this. And she is. Check out this shot. Told ya. Bangin'. What's going on, film heads? I'm the Modern Film Critic, reviewing probably one of the most anticipated films by a lot of people this year, The Hunger Games: Catching Fire, the sequel to the first one. Now, of course, before I get into this, I gotta tell you what I think about the first one. I cannot stand that movie. That was probably one of the worst movies of that year, of 2012. I was like, if this is the road we're going down on, this is going to be atrocious. This isn't a review for The Hunger Games, but, I mean, there's just things about that movie that I despise. The way it's made and the direction, it's all just bad. And going into this one, I was dreading it. I was like, see, this one, the first one lost me. The trailer's not really isn't really intriguing me, but the critics came, and they've been saying, this is fantastic, and they're saying this is a great film. This is revamping the old one. I mean, this is revamping the series, and that got me pumped. I was like, okay, they switched directors. Now we're going into this. Now it's going to be awesome. It's going to be, you know, I'm excited. The critics are saying this is great. The overall feeling of the movie by everyone is positive, so that got me pumped. I was excited. Is it any good? It is better than the first one, but not by much, honestly. I was extremely uninterested in everything going on. It was entertaining, and some of the scenes were pretty cool, and some of the stuff, some things worked, but a lot of it didn't. I mean, a lot of it didn't. Starting with the dialogue in the film, that's the first thing I noticed off the bat. There's a conversation about the way turkeys are walking now, and how they sort of feel like they're in charge. I don't know. It was just silly. I know I'm probably exaggerating, but that was really what they talked about. They said it. They didn't say it in that exact way, but they said it in a sort of way that I was like, what? And it completely was like, that's not a good way to start off the film. And and then it continued on, and I was like, okay, Philip Seymour Hoffman, this guy, he's a fantastic actor, and and going into it, I was like, he is what I'm extremely excited for, because I love Philip Seymour Hoffman's work. And this guy is sleepwalking in this movie, practically sleepwalking. He has nothing to give to this film. He is literally phoning it in, mailing it in, whatever you want to call it. The guy does nothing. You can so tell that he's completely uninterested, for me at least. I saw him and I was like, okay, here he is. What do you got? That was it, and I was like, okay, maybe he's warming up or something. Let's just keep going, give me more. And it didn't get better. He just continued on. He was dull. He was boring. I don't know what it was. I don't know if he was having an off day or something, but he didn't do anything for me in this movie. His character could have been played by anybody, and it really, I was like, okay, now I'm losing hope. The biggest hope that I had for this film is now gone. Philip Seymour Hoffman, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Come on. Quit wasting your time with this. I'm making it sound like that I hated the film. I did not hate this movie. Like I said, it is a step above the first one. It's a lot darker. It follows Katniss and Peeta and all those characters again. They're back. They just finished. They won the first Hunger Games, and they're now living in a house. Things are going okay, but there's still a feeling of dread. So as the next Hunger Games comes up, they're talking about a rebellion. What can we do to fight the system and fight the government and things like that. So that's pretty much the basis of it, because on the side, we still got the romance, and I don't care about the Gale and Katniss romance at this point. When that was on screen, I was like, I don't care. Like, honestly, this is a silly subplot, and maybe that was the first film's fault, because it really didn't get into that. But whenever they had scenes together, I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel emotionally invested at all in this movie, and that's my main complaint. Is I didn't care about the outcome of the movie. I didn't care about everybody's fates. It was, and that really stinks, because when you've got a movie like that with a lot of characters that you want to see survive, but you have no involvement or investment into the outcome, it's like, why am I watching this? I'm bored, which is one of the worst things a movie can be, is boring. The action was fun. It was better than the first one, because there was still shaky cam, but there was very little shaky cam was used in this film. Some of the action scenes were really, really fun to watch. but at the same time, I really didn't care what was going to happen at the outcome. There were some pretty cool moments with the other tribes and things like that. And when it got into the Hunger Games, that was probably the funnest part, but it was also really disappointing because I was like, all this stuff is really slow. I'm not really interested in it. I'm not really emotionally invested. Like I said, I'm not really into it this far, but maybe once I get into the Hunger Games, it'll change everything around. I thought it was boring. Going back, thinking about it, I've completely forgotten at this point about everything. I remember the fog. I won't spoil anything, but I remember the fog. I remember some monkeys, and just little things like that. But anything before the Hunger Games has completely just left my brain because it was so dull, it was so boring. I wasn't interested in it, so there's not really much I can say about this film other than, like, it is a step above the first one, but it is flawed. The visual effects in this one are also horrendous. The first one made so much money. Why are these effects this bad? Why am I watching this movie thinking that's a green screen? Obviously, like, there's a scene where they're riding in one of those, I guess you would call it I don't know, a train, I guess. It's a really, like, high, it's like super fast, like a really high technological train, and Katniss is in it, and you can see out the windows, and it's so obvious that is like a green screen. Like, you see the trees going by super quick, and then whenever you actually see the train going fast, it also looks horrible. What's going on? I don't know. It was a movie that just completely left my brain after watching it. I'm not seeing all the hype for it, honestly. The ending was fine. I mean, they started throwing a million different curveballs at you, and I was like, okay, let's end this. I know you're gonna leave me hanging because this has been 2 hours and 20 minutes. So let's hurry up and just wrap this up. So yeah, and then it ended, and I was like, well, that was that. Disappointing. I really wanted to like it. I really wanted to be like, guys, this is revamping the series. This is, we're getting into it. This is going to be great. I'm excited. But it didn't do it for me. So, I mean, the highest I can go is 2.5 out of 5. Sorry, guys. I'm sure I'm going to get a ton of dislikes on this video because, like, everyone is praising this movie infinitely. But I guess I just didn't see what everyone else saw in it. I thought it was kind of boring, dull, and unexciting. And, visual effects were poor, bad dialogue, and just not invested in it. Just really didn't care. Whatever. That was a movie. Will I see the other ones? Yes, because I have to. If it was my own choice, I would probably stay away from them because I really don't care at this point. It is what it is. 2.5 out of 5. So what are your thoughts on the Hunger Games catching fire? Are you on my side or are you on everyone else's side? The side that is heavily praising this movie. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry about this late review. I will have more reviews coming soon. Frozen, Homefront, Black Nativity, if I even get around to seeing that. And there's one more, but I can't remember. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'm the Modern Film Critic, signing off.